just so that we have it and we can post it in our group. Welcome, everyone. My name is Marissa Myers. I'm going to be doing a short little presentation, and this is the first time we've done this in a while, so bear with us, but it's kind of like a practice run. And then once I'm done with the presentation, then we will be hearing from a couple of coaches, definitely Jana and Georgia, and potentially Lisa. I'm not 100% sure. Are you going to be a yes tonight? Okay, cool. All right, and I don't see Sabrina on here, so I guess she changed her mind about sharing. So welcome, ladies. Let me share my screen and come on. Okay, here we go. You know what? I hope everybody's muted. If everyone can go ahead and mute themselves just so that we can. I'm going to put this in present mode. Okay, I wonder if I can minimize this somehow. Okay. So I updated this presentation recently. I've personally been a coach for 8 years, so I've done a lot of these presentations, but this is the first time we've done it for new people in a long time. So hopefully you'll get all the information you need. So what we're going to be going over tonight, first I'm going to talk a little bit about my story of how I got started and how I used to work full-time as a nurse anesthetist until I started my Beachbody coaching business, and now I am self-employed doing Beachbody, and I do anesthesia part-time, which is currently suspended until future notice because I'm per diem. So I was the first to go when they stopped doing elective surgery. So thankfully I have my business income to bounce back on, and I have a lot of savings, so I'm going to be okay. But obviously this is a crazy time. I'm going to talk a little bit about our team and our culture, the company and the products, the earning potential, and I'm actually going to show you some weekly pay stubs so that you can see the potential that's there with the business, additional benefits of becoming a coach, talking about the free trips, options for you to enroll, and then we're going to have our other coaches share their success stories. So a little bit about me. I am like the grandmother coach of all the people on this call. So I founded the team Aloha. Literally means, aloha means breath in your face. And so the mission of our team is to breathe life into people on the planet. I am a 2-time elite coach, meaning that our team actually finished in the top 0.01% of the company for 2 consecutive years. I've successfully built a 6-figure income with Beachbody. I still work part-time as a nurse anesthetist. I have rescued 9 animals, which I take care of full-time, which is a lot of work. I'm a homeowner. I have a partner right now named Abe, and I'm dating a guy who has a daughter, his 5-year-old. And my reason for starting my Beachbody coaching business was I wanted to have freedom from the 9 to 5 or from the 7 to 7 working as a full-time nurse anesthetist. And now my why is to help as many people as possible have that same freedom over their time that I have now. So how I got started was a friend of mine introduced me to the Insanity program. I've always been into sports. I was a swimmer in high school. I also ran and did, cross country. I let health and fitness take a back seat during my anesthesia program when I was becoming a nurse anesthetist. I always had the fitness side of things well, but my nutrition wasn't always on point, and it's gotten a lot better over the last several years with having Beachbody in my life. So a friend of mine invited me over to try Insanity with her, and I was in the middle of completing my master's to become a nurse anesthetist, which if you don't know, you can't even work during that time because you're literally studying 24/7 and you're doing clinicals, and it's a lot of work. 28-month program. And so she introduced me to Insanity 6 months before I graduated, but I didn't have the energy and I just didn't feel like I had the time to commit to the program. So I started it and stopped it several times. And when I finally graduated, I was extremely out of shape. I was probably in like the worst shape of my life just from not working out and not eating healthy. I was always eating out. I was never cooking. But so when I graduated, I was never really super overweight. I just wasn't in shape. So I started the program, I finished it 2 times, and then I went on to do Insanity Asylum. So I was doing Beachbody workouts for 6 months. I lost 25 pounds that I had gained and lost the same 20 to 25 pounds multiple times. So that wasn't that big of a deal. But I've kept it off all these years since I started that program 8 years ago. It landed me on the infomercial for Insanity, and people started noticing what I was doing and asking me how I was losing weight. So I was really excited about the program, and I was just bouncing off the rooftops telling people like, this is it, and signing them up. to buy it even before I was a coach. So, and I was sharing it on social media too. And 8 months into my journey with Beachbody, I got invited to work out with Shaun T live in Fort Lauderdale. And that was the moment that I finally decided to become a coach, because it made it real for me being around the other people that were coaching and knowing that this was actually an opportunity for me to really help people. So during the 8 months when I was doing Insanity, up until I went to that live workout, the workouts were the only thing in my life that I felt super inspired about. I felt like the rest of my life I was just living like a zombie, going to work, you know, working all day, coming home, being tired, going to sleep, taking naps. I didn't feel passionate about my work. I felt like I was trapped in something that I looked at the long-term future and I knew that I could not work full time as a nurse anesthetist for the rest of my life. And I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a horrible career, because it's not. It's just the time that I spent there was so much that I felt like I just didn't have any other time and energy to be able to do the things that I love with my partner and his daughter, because I was dating someone else at the time and he had a daughter and we had a dog and I was busy. So I lived for the weekends. I was taking naps every day. I was exhausted. I didn't have any confidence in my ability to change any of this. And at the time, I wasn't doing any personal development. So my mindset was very negative. So what changed for me is, obviously I found that inspiration in the workouts again. And I realized that this was a solution that could create lifelong self-care habits forever. The personal development really helped, because part of being a coach is doing personal development and working on your mindset. So that helped me shift and become just a more positive person, a leader, and someone who inspired other people. Also, I was able to keep the 25 pounds off, like I said, for 8 years. And coaching was what helped me realize that there was a possibility that I could actually not work full time as a nurse anesthetist for the rest of my life. So I felt inspired again. I felt on fire. I was all excited about my workouts. I was excited about the community. And I felt like this was a way for me to have an impact in people's lives beyond just putting them to sleep for a living. And my passion was really about helping people before they acquired preventable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, all the things that are common causes of death, and morbidity and mortality right now. So when I did sign up to become a coach, at first I wasn't super successful or really working the business, but after several months or a year, I finally decided to give my team a name. Like I said, I named it Team Aloha because my mission was to breathe life into people on the planet. And that's what our mission is to do on this team. At the time, I didn't have an upline. Like, I didn't have a coach like me that was teaching me how to do the business. I had no leadership skills. I had no public speaking skills or business education. I had no personal training skills, no nutritional, education skills. I was very limited on my time. I was working full time as a nurse anesthetist, living with my partner and his 5-year-old daughter and our dog. I was very busy and I had to take call too. And I would literally just work my business in pockets of time during the day. Like if I had 15 minutes of downtime in the operating room, I'd work my business. 30 minutes at lunch, I'd work my business. At night when I came home, I'd work my business. On the weekends, when I had time, I'd squeeze, a couple hours in there. And over the 8 years, I failed many, 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 many times. But eventually I learned how to support people in an online community, and mostly women. And once I learned how to do that, that's when the business really started to take off for me. I started to recognize that these programs didn't just work for me, but they worked for others. But that accountability, that online accountability, was what a lot of people were missing and actually getting the results. So I started attracting team members and people started joining me and becoming coaches. And that's when my business really grew to a 6-figure income. And my coaches started succeeding and building their own income and so on and so forth. So our team, Team Aloha, is a family of mostly women. We do have a couple of guys who make self-care a priority. We drink superfood shakes and or use the Performance Line, which are Beachbody products. We engage in 30-ish minutes of workouts at least 5 times a week. We use Beachbody On Demand, which is live streaming workouts. Some of us follow the nutritional plan, some of us don't, but we are following some type of healthy nutrition. And we engage in at least 10 minutes of personal development daily. At least that's the recommendation. We're nurses, stay-at-home moms, engineers, managers, teachers, you name it, we have it on our team. And we're just like you. There's nothing special about anybody except the amount of work that people put in to build their business. And we do this on a part-time basis. I don't think there's a single one of us that does Beachbody full-time. Actually, maybe Stephanie does. And coaching is literally just an extension of our own personal health journey. So we just live a healthy lifestyle, and then we share that on social media, and we share that with our friends, and we invite them to join us on this journey. And we host online accountability communities or challenge groups. And that's really where I feel that the magic happens for people. The products definitely work as long as people are willing to work them, but the online support is what makes them do the work or helps them get that support that they need to do the work. We support our clients with check-ins, we do Zooms, we do text calls, whatever we decide is best for them, and each coach can personalize the way they do their business. So everybody's business looks a little bit different. Before Team Beachbody, Beachbody was just a company that made infomercials. This was the only products they had in their catalog from 1998 to 2007. There was just a few products. After they decided to open up the coaching network and allow us coaches to share this opportunity with people and create these accountability communities online, Beachbody started exploding and just building more and more and more and more programs and supplements. And now, I mean, this is an old graphic. I couldn't find a newer one. This is only from 2014, and Beachbody just keeps innovating and making things for everybody. So there's something for everyone with Beachbody. And obviously, I mean, most people have heard about Beachbody at this point, but if not, they've shown time and time again that their products work as long as people are willing to put in the work. And what's cool about coaching is that fitness and nutrition and support and results is tied to you, like a financial reward. So you actually get rewarded for staying in shape and being that light in other people's lives. Beachbody actually became a billion-dollar company in 2014. This is again an old graphic. I couldn't find a new one, but I think there's only like 1,000 or 2,000 companies out of billions of companies that have made it to that level. So you're paired with a company that's here. You've been around for a long time. They're always innovating, and they're very successful. And what's cool about it is it's not like a traditional business. We don't have to pay, have products or inventory at your house. That's all done through Beachbody. Or we don't have, I mean, you have to have your own customer service and that you're creating these, support for your clients, but you don't have to have answering phones. Like they have FAQs and they have tons of stuff online where resources for people to use to find the answers that they need. They also have training online for us when we sign up as coaches. They take care of everything with legal. And a traditional business, a lot of times you'd have to invest tens of thousands of dollars. You'd have to be 100% fully committed to the business. You'd have to have employees. There'd be all these different things that go into having a traditional business. Whereas Beachbody has a very low startup cost. You can put in as much time or as little time as you want. And you have the opportunity to make an impact in people's lives and stay accountable to your own health and fitness goals, which it's definitely done for me over the years, and create that freedom and flexibility over your time, because the income allows you to either reduce your hours, which is what it did for me, or completely, make this a full-time income if that's what you want. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of possibilities here. This is my first paycheck as a Beachbody coach. As you can see, the retail commissions, I made $30. I probably sold the Shakeology at that point. And then, after working the business for a while, I became an Emerald coach, which means I added 2 team members to my team. And when that happened, you can see that my commission started to go up. I still was making most of it from retail. I still wasn't making a lot of it from my team. But this is weekly, by the way. As you start to see, once I started to build a team and I became a diamond coach, that means that I had at least 12 members on my team. And then you'll start to see that I'm starting to earn money from team bonuses as well as my retail commission. So these are weekly incomes. And then when I became a 2-star diamond coach, meaning that I created and developed 2 leaders on my team, I was now teaching other people how to be successful in the business. You start to see that my earning is going up for my team and less of it is coming from commissions, although still a lot of it was coming from commissions here. So this is weekly again. When you become a 2-star diamond, you can actually open up your second business center as a Beachbody coach. So it's like Marissa Myers number 1, Marissa Myers number 2. And when that happens, you can start to see here that a lot of the income now is coming from my team, which means I'm helping my coaches succeed and build their own businesses and create an income for them, and that's generating more of an income for me. So total here, once I opened up my second business center and started really developing leaders on my team, that's my weekly income at the top here, $1,500 a week. And then I kept building and building and building and adding more team members and helping them get results. And as they got results, they started inviting their friends and family, and everybody was getting results. And then the team was growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously, as people are living healthy, happy lives, then my income was growing. And this was what my weekly income was as once I had 5 leaders on my team with my second business center. Okay, so there's additional benefits of coaching in that we have a tribe of women that will always support you. Actually, on our team call on Saturday, Sabrina showed up and she had taken a little bit of a break on her journey and she had just come back and she was just like, I'm so thankful for you guys because I know if it weren't for you, I would have veered off for a lot longer than I did. And because of us, because of she knew we were there for her, she ended up coming back more quickly to her healthy lifestyle than she would have in the past had she not had that support system there. You can set your own work hours. You can work part-time or full-time. Whatever you put in, you get back. So it's, your work, your reward. You're not working for somebody else. You're not on a time clock. You can learn how to build your brand on social media and meet new people, and you can have an impact in the lives of others with a very, very small investment. You have the possibility of meeting and working out with celebrity trainers, which I like. Sean T is my favorite, and I've actually got to work out on stage with him in Miami just because I kept seeing him at Beachbody events and he remembered me from the infomercial, and it was just really cool. It was an amazing experience. There's a possibility to win $100,000 in cash for your results, be featured on infomercials, and military and military spouses, they can coach for free. So there's no fees. There's a possibility of earning trips. I've been to Disney World, Dana Point on a cruise, Scottsdale, Cancun, Coronado Bay, Punta Cana, and I was just supposed to go to Punta Cana 2 days from now on my Beachbody trip, but it got canceled because of the coronavirus. And just to talk a little bit about what it is to become a coach, what it means to be a coach. You don't have to be a fitness expert, a personal trainer, a nutrition expert, experienced in sales, or have leadership skills or business degrees, or someone that has a lot of time, because obviously I didn't possess any of those things and I was able to succeed in the business. But what we do as coaches is we invite people to come along with us on this healthy journey. We share the products that are helping us achieve the results that we're achieving, and we commit to improving ourselves through personal development every day. And it's really just, like I said, an extension of our own personal journey. So think about, it's me working on myself and becoming the best version of myself, the healthiest, the fittest, the best mindset, and then me passing that along to other people and helping them achieve that as well. And there's many options to get started. Normally there's a $39.95 fee, but that's waived when you sign up with one of the packages. But if you just want to buy like a standalone product, then you would have to pay that $39.95 enrollment fee. Back when I was a coach and signed up, they didn't have that option for the challenge pack and the fee being waived. So I just had to pay the fee, and programs were a lot more expensive too back then. But I still did it because I saw the potential for me to be able to really help people and to be able to build a business that I love that would help me not have to work as a nurse anesthetist full time. And then you can join as a customer or a coach, so you don't have to get started as a coach today if that's not something that you're ready for. You can just forego that and be a customer for as long as you need. And then in addition to the initial fee, which I said is waived if you buy the package, there is a $15.95 monthly fee, but you do save 25% on all your future purchases. So it actually ends up becoming a wash. You actually save more if you're going to be using the products by being a coach. So these are just some questions to think about for yourself. What did you like most about the presentation? So what is it that you're attracted to about the business? Do you feel like our team would be a good fit for you? And do you think coaching or becoming a customer is something that would be a good option for you right now? And do you have any questions? So ladies, Shannon, Megan. Oh, we have another person, Lorraine. So we had somebody else join us. Any questions or before we go into the rest of the coaching stories about what I shared? Is anything not clear or, oh, you're muted. You're muted. Megan?
Yeah,
Oh, were you talking?
I think so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm fine. I don't have any questions. I was just saying I don't have any questions.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, cool. Lorraine, welcome to, is that another one of yours, Jana? Lorraine, are you a coach on our team or did somebody invite you?
Twyla invited me.
Oh, cool. Okay. Am I saying your name right?
Close. It's Loran.
Lauren. Okay, because I was like, wait, that's not right. I was like, I'm not reading it right. Welcome. I'm so happy you were able to join us. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So if nobody has questions about the presentation or any feedback, then we'll go ahead and move into the coaching stories. And so we can start with whoever wants to start. Okay. Georgia, just go. I'm gonna mute my.
Okay, I unmuted. First of all, it's snowing outside where I'm at, so I'm hoping my internet will cooperate here and I don't freeze or anything. But my name is Georgia Padilla, and I'm a coach here on Team Aloha. And I wanted to first start with, because I first was a customer before I became a coach. So I'm gonna go back and share my story when I first became a customer. Well, I'm gonna go back before that because I'm gonna start in 2003 when my son was born. And he was born in October. And during that time, I was in second grade. I had been teaching second grade for 7 years, and he was born in October. And after my maternity leave, I went back to teaching, and I quickly realized that there was no way I could be the teacher I was and the mom I wanted to be. I could not find that balance. So I finished out the school year, and I became a full-time mom. And in 2005, my middle child was born, and in 2010, my youngest was born. So naturally, during those years, all my attention was focused on them. All my needs, everything was focused on them. My needs got pushed to the back burner slowly over the years. And I just started losing myself. I wasn't recognizing myself in the mirror anymore. I almost just lost my identity. I didn't even know who I was. Other adults would refer to me as Jonathan's mom or Sophia's mom or Alexandra's mom. And, I loved being their mom, but in the same sense, I was like, wait a second, I've got a name, Georgia, don't you know me? But then I'm like, I don't even know who I am. So how can they know my name? So I just continued losing myself. And in 2015, I was so depressed. I was in a really dark place in my life. I started having thoughts like, what is my purpose here? I'm just this fat blob taking up space. I don't need to be here. And that was a hard place to be in. But nobody knew it. Nobody knew how I was feeling because, I'm sorry, that's my phone. I had a smile on my face that was so fake. So everybody thought that everything was good with me, but it wasn't. They did not know what was going on deep down inside. And hold on, my answering machine. Sorry, guys. Okay, good. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. It's the school calling again where, everything's going on. So they're probably giving us an update. Anyway, so let's see, where was I? I was, I had that fake smile. So I thought I was fooling everybody. I wasn't, because in 2016, my middle child, my daughter, who was 10 at the time, just out of the blue, she's like, "Mom, what's wrong? Are you sad, Mommy? You're just not happy. Are you okay?" And at that moment, I was like, geez, I've got this 10-year-old little girl who saw right through me. I need to fix myself. That's it. I need to do something. So I decided, if I get fit, if I lose some weight, then I'll be happy. Everything will be okay. But again, we were a one-income family. I knew we couldn't afford a gym membership. So I posted on Facebook, and I asked friends if they knew any way, and give me some ideas, some cheap ways to get fit, lose some weight. I need some help. And an old high school friend commented, and she told me that there's a girl that lives in the town I do, who lost a bunch of weight doing home workouts. And I thought, okay. And she's like, well, you can contact her and she can help you. And I thought, okay, that's not going to work, because I'm an extremely shy person. So to contact some stranger on Facebook that I don't even know and ask them for help, that ain't going to happen. I'm like, I am not going to do that. So I did the next best thing, and I started stalking her Facebook page. So I'm so glad that it was public and I was able to see everything. And I saw that she was running this free ab challenge group. So I decided to join it, and it was 7 days, and we did like a couple workouts every day, and I loved it. It made me feel so good, just working out, just doing a couple exercises every day, and I wanted more. So I decided to buy my first challenge pack, and at that time, my challenge pack consisted of a bag of Shakeology and a DVD set of the program 21 Day Fix. And I spent $160 on just a set of DVDs and a bag of Shakeology. And I did this workout for 21 days, and it was only 7 workouts on those DVDs. So every Monday was the same exact workout. Every Tuesday was the same exact workout. And I was also put into an accountability group, a support group of other women who needed the same support I did. They encouraged me, they inspired me, they called me by my name. So I never felt alone, and I loved it. And then after 21 days, so I completed the program, I ended up losing 6 pounds and 10 inches, which on paper doesn't really sound like much, but when I put my before and after pictures next to each other, I was blown away by my results. My physical transformation was, I just couldn't believe it. And so I wanted more. So I did another round of 21 Day Fix. Actually, I did a couple rounds of that. And then I bought another set of DVDs, the 21 Day Fix Extreme, did a couple rounds of that. And after 7 months, I ended up losing 22 pounds and 30 pounds and 22 inches. And so I went from a size 14 to a size 6. And here I am 4 years later, still the same weight, still the same size, all because of these programs that I worked out to. I've completed 19 programs so far, and right now I'm currently doing Joel Freeman's new boxing program, 10 rounds. So when I was a challenger, a customer, I told my coach, there's no way I'm going to share anything on Facebook. No pictures, no workouts, nothing about my journey. So don't ask me to do that, because I'm not going to do that. And she's like, okay, I'm not going to ask you to do anything you don't want to do. But after I saw my results, I was like, holy cow, I need to show people what you can do in just 21 days. You can get some awesome results. So I did. I started sharing my journey, and people, I can't even tell you how many friends contacted me. What are you doing? How'd you get so fit? How'd you lose so much weight? And so I just referred them to my coach. And she's like, Georgia, you're referring me all of these friends of yours. Have you ever thought of coaching yourself? And I was like, no way. And she's like, you're already doing it. She said, you're sharing your journey on Facebook. She said, you're having conversations with these people. The only thing is I'm the one getting money from it because you're not a coach. If you become a coach, you can make a little bit of money from your friends here that are purchasing these things. And I was like, no, there's no way. My biggest objection of not wanting to coach was because, to me, a coach is someone who is an expert in something. Like you have a basketball coach. So they're an expert in basketball. You've got a football coach. They know everything about football. Me to be a fitness coach? There was no way. I knew nothing about fitness, nothing. I'm like, there's no way I can be a fitness coach. I'm sorry. So she just, she kept asking me, and I kept telling her, no, I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. And so about 5 months went by with me referring my friends to her making money from my friends. And finally, I was like, you know what? I took a step back and I thought about it. And I thought, when I first started teaching second grade, my classroom that first day, did I know everything there was to know about teaching? And the answer is no, I didn't. I learned from my coworkers. I learned from training. I learned from my students, so I was learning new things every day about teaching second grade. And I realized that's the same thing with coaching. I'm learning from different trainings, because Beachbody, there's so much training out there for us. I'm learning from trainings. I'm learning from my coworkers, who are all the other coaches. And I'm learning from my students, who are my clients. So I didn't need to know everything there was to know before I became a coach. So I decided to become a coach, and it was the best decision I made. It's given me that purpose that I had lost. I feel like I now have a purpose. It's given me an opportunities to try new things. I have confidence to try new things, like talking to all of you guys, because honestly, I am extremely, extremely shy. So coming out of my shell, it's because of coaching. It's provided me with a community of positive people who are always there during hard times. I know there's going to be a community of people to support me, all because of coaching, and I'm getting paid for it too. That's the best part. So next month, I'm going to be 47 years old. I'm in the best shape physically and mentally that I've ever been in. And I truly believe it's because of that decision I made to first be a customer and then become a coach. So that's my story.
Thanks, Georgia. That was like so moving. I love hearing.
That was a great
Oh.
story. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So to follow that, I mean, you did an awesome job. But to follow up on that, mine doesn't feel as moving as that, but it's just kind of real. It's just what my story is. So basically, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I've been doing that for like the past 16 years now. And I have a 10-year-old daughter now. So my journey began about 4 years ago when, I'm like in my mid 30s, my daughter's young, I'm working full time. And I just started, I started realizing what people say is like kind of true, where, you feel like your metabolism goes down after you have a kid. You just start gaining weight that you don't know where it's coming from, just by living what you think is your normal lifestyle. And, my clothes just started feeling tighter. I just started feeling angry about that. Mine totally just started off superficially, to be honest with you. I was just like, I got to lose some weight. I want to look better. I don't want to buy bigger clothes. So mine just started out where I did the thing that I knew what to do, because when you're young, easy things work. And I just jumped on the elliptical and the treadmill that I had in my house, because I bought that when I moved into my house and was 20 years old. And I'm just like running, and now here I am in my mid 30s, and I better jump on that elliptical and start trying to get my life in shape again. And so I was doing that. I committed to doing that, a New Year's resolution in 2016, I think, to get on the elliptical, and I'm going to do the math because I'm an engineer. I knew how many calories I was eating from my fitness pal. I knew how many calories I wanted to burn. And I knew, like, okay, I should lose this much weight. And I thought I could just like calculate it out and do it. So our bodies don't work like that, is what I came to figure out. And I was putting in hours a week away from my family in my basement, DVRing Bravo and chugging away on my elliptical until my heart rate monitor said a certain number of calories. And I was doing that, expecting it to work. And by 6 months in, I'm a very persistent person when it comes to goals. So I'm still doing it 6 months later, and I'm starting to like see the scales going down, but I wasn't seeing, like, I didn't look better. And so I still wasn't like looking at myself and being happy with what I was seeing. So my friend suggested, she had 21 Day Fix Extreme DVDs, and she's like, why don't you do this? I'm like, I don't want to do it. That's harder. I'm just going to stick on the elliptical because I can watch TV while I'm doing it. It's an hour-long show I can do. And so I did not want to work harder, it's for a shorter amount of time. So give myself another like few months, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try these DVDs because I'm getting really tired of the basement and the elliptical for an hour. And, when my family's upstairs doing stuff, I'm stuck down in the basement working out. So I did commit to the 21 Day Fix Extreme. I bought it on Amazon. I didn't have a coach or anything. I just heard about it from my best friend. So I bought it and just put it in, and I'm like, I'm going to do these 21 days no matter what. And so I did. I just did it in my living room. So I was like, screw the basement. I'm done with the basement. I'm done being isolated from everybody for so much time. So I'm in the living room, jumping around. My family's around me. And in those 3 weeks, those 21 days, I saw more change in my body than I had for the past 8 months that I had been working out, spending, 5 to 7 hours a week, just like on the mouse wheel, on the hamster wheel. And so then I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so I did that on repeat for like 3 months straight. I listened to Autumn say the exact same things for 12 weeks straight. And I didn't care because I'm like, I'm getting the most I can out of this DVD. I don't want to buy another one. So once I couldn't listen to her anymore, I started looking into what other options were available. And that's when I saw the BOD on demand. And then additionally, since when I got more familiar with the programs, Marissa and I knew each other from high school. We were on the same swim team together. And so I knew from social media, I was stalking her on social media because I thought her body looked amazing. And I knew what workouts she was doing because I started to get familiar with the programs too. So I watched her for 2 years while I worked out, doing my own thing for 2 years. And in the meantime,
and never reached out to me, not one time.
Just watched and commented. And so, but I was happy with that because I was like, I was making my own personal progress. I loved my journey that I was on. And the thing that got me is, I have a great career. I actually enjoy my job. And so when I would go, all my girlfriends would have like the, MLM of the week or whatever. So I'd go to the parties and I'd, buy Wild Tree. I'd buy the Juice Plus. I still use that. I like it. Rodan and Fields. I still use that. I was supporting all my friends doing this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not that social of a person. I do not like planning stuff outside of my work. I work. I plan all day. I'm a program manager. At home, don't want to. So I get invited to parties. I go, I support them. They're like, do you want to join? Do you want to do this? I'm like, no, that sounds terrible. Why would I want to do that? And I'm like, I don't need to do that. There was no need for me. I wasn't moved by anything that I was doing. I just was supporting them. But what started to change for me was that my lifestyle started to, my mindset and my emotional well-being started to like get simplified, because I was feeling happier with myself and my day-to-day routine. I was totally comfortable with, okay, I do these workouts, I see my body changing. And again, it was superficial for me, but that was what I wanted. That was my goal. And that worked for me. And I felt like I was gaining control over what was happening. Like my efforts were producing a result, instead of, my calculations before were not producing the results that I thought. So I'm like, this equation works for me. And so watching Marissa, I was just like, how is she doing this? Now, how do these MLMs work? I think they're all scams and, whatever. And so, but I knew Marissa had a great career like I did, and so I could I'm like, why she has a great career, but she's like getting this freedom and she's doing this. I'm really curious what's happening here. So finally, after 2 years, she like had a post on Instagram, like, you want to know more? And all I had to do was like click the button. I'm like, fine, I'll click the button, see what happens. She messages me and starts talking to me. She was very open and, shared, because I was kind of like, why, like, okay, that's interesting. And as I'm out in the summertime with my friends, sorry, I feel like I'm starting to jump around a lot, but, people that are around me are asking like, what are you doing? And I would share my story of what I'm doing. And I'm like, you should totally get it. Like, it's amazing. Get Beachbody on demand. It's like so cheap, just buy the year. And I didn't care because I'm about commission, because I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. More happening. And then at the time where it starting to change my mind, because I'm a budgeter, I'm a planner, I am a money person. And I'm like, why would I throw like the $40 commission out the window? Why would I do that? If I'm passionate about sharing it, I'm even telling them, oh, like we can plan a workout time together. You can come over and work out. And then I'm like, well, now I'm just like throwing money out the window for no good reason. Even if it's only $40, if it doesn't add up to anything, why would I do that? So that's when I finally just decided to go for it, because I had developed a passion. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm very shy. I'm very like anxious, like all the time. But that's where the control of that program, the programs, and the getting the results helped me know what I was doing was something that was special and that could work for other people. So I became a coach. I just was like, well, I'm going to do it. I don't care what anybody thinks now, with Marissa's help of coaching me through how to start sharing my journey and myself, which felt very awkward and uncomfortable. And I really hated it. I'm like, who's going to care what I have to say? I'm just a person. All I care about is working out. And I don't have anything that anybody can relate to, because I go to work, I come home, I work out. But over sharing and doing that, I found that I really could reach people that I didn't realize that I could. And from there, it's really been like so life-changing for me, because I am so much more I care so much more about people now than I ever did before, because when you can help somebody for real, that like legitimately impacts their life, it's kind of like a drug. Like for me, I want to help more, because I know I honestly am changing somebody's life, where my work doesn't make me feel like that. Like this makes me feel like I can have an impact on the world that is like for real and lasting. And people, when they thank me, I'm like, oh my God, this is why I'm doing this, because it feels so good to get thanked for helping somebody eliminate some of that doubt or fear or worry, or, just angst about things that they thought they couldn't control in their life, but that come to find out that you really can get a grip on these things that can make people feel so out of control. And so that's kind of where I like the coaching for me is just like, it's beyond because I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep working and I'm going to keep doing this. But to truly connect with people and to truly be able to help them, that, like, to me, that's just like, I feel like it's the best job that you could do and still, you know, get paid to actually make a honest to goodness impact. It's like being a mom. It's almost like that, because you know that you're affecting somebody's life, that you have the potential to affect somebody's life for the long term. And I think that's amazing.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Hi, I'm Lisa, everyone. So where I started was, so back before I started with Beachbody and anything, I was a competitive swimmer, and big time, like college, high school, college, with master's swimming after college. And when I got married in 2009. And then for the year after, I was probably in the best shape of my life. Swimming, I swam to Alcatraz. I did all kinds of things. I did nationals in Puerto Rico, like all kinds of things. And I was in the best shape of my life. Then I had kids. And I basically, like Georgia, I gave everything to my kids. My life stopped and it became all about the kids. So I had my first in 2011. Then I was able to kind of regain a little bit, working out a little bit on my own, just doing random things. And then I had my second in 2013. And that's where things got really hard, because then you're juggling two kids. I worked just part-time. I was I teach swimming at a swim school. And it was just part-time work, and it was just really hard. So my life seriously took a major back seat. So I was probably maybe like 20 pounds over where I really wanted to be. You know, I was able to do some workouts here and there, but nothing steady and no real like plan of what I was doing. So that's when I saw on Facebook my coach doing some like a paper plate challenge or something like that. So I started stalking her, and I joined one of her 7-day free challenges, and, you know, did that, had a great time, and kept stalking her for probably another 5-6 months. And finally, I decided to try out some programs. I think my first program was Core to Force. So of course, when I was talking to her, she was trying to get me to buy a challenge pack. And I'm like, no, I just want to do the workouts. I don't need a shake. I don't need anything else. I thought she was just trying to sell me stuff because she wanted more money. So I was like, nope, not happening. Just did the DVDs. So I got that. And then I'm in her challenge group, and I'm watching everybody else drink this shake that looked really good. And I was like, okay, so let me upgrade. So I got the shake, and I loved it, but I wasn't in a spot that I could afford to keep the shake. So after the first time, I think, or maybe I got 2 of them and then canceled. And then I think it was a couple months after that was when Beachbody On Demand came out, or maybe it was out the whole time, I'm not sure. But so I got Beachbody On Demand, started doing different programs, got to a spot where I was happy with my weight and my size. I had a big wedding that I needed to go to that, you know, I needed to fit back into a dress. So I got there, did it, everything's great. And then I don't really know what happened. I'm guessing it was age. I got to 35 years old, and I don't know. I don't feel like I really changed anything. But all of a sudden, just weight started going up and up and up and up. And then I got pregnant with my third. So with that pregnancy, I ended up having some high blood pressure issues, and like I was borderline where I had to go on medicine. So after the baby, my blood pressure, it still wouldn't go down. So I'm like, I do not want to go on medicine. So I'm like, all right, I have to reactivate Beachbody On Demand. So I did that, and I was doing it for a couple months, but I just couldn't get myself to stay consistent. And At this point, I am working full-time at the swim school. We finally got big enough where we're a standalone business, and I'm a manager there now. So I'm getting a full-time salary, working full-time, managing, having the baby, my husband working full-time too. The baby was at work with me while the other two were in school. And I guess that's kind of why I wasn't able to stay consistent working. I just kind of just didn't make it a priority, really. I didn't make it a priority. So in November, that's when I'm like, you know what? I think I want to start coaching. I saw everybody that was coaching. I'm like, you know what? They make it look so much fun, and they get to go on vacations, and they're making money off of this. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's try it. We're in a spot. My husband had lost his job, and we're in a spot where we could use the extra income, even if it's just like a couple $100s a month. It would help with like groceries. So I decided to do it. And I feel like I don't know when you're not considered like a baby coach anymore, but I still feel like a lot of this is still new, and I'm still learning so much every day. But there are some great programs, or not programs, what are they? The trainings that I've been watching, and it's really taken me, like, I've done more things over the last couple months than I ever thought I would. Posting things on Facebook. Like, I seriously, when I started, I had like maybe 100 friends on Facebook, and I was so scared to start like just putting things out there. If you would look through like my phone, I never even had a picture of myself with my kids because I was just unhappy with the way I looked in pictures. And I'm like, all right, this has to change. Like, I can't not have family photos because I don't like the way I look. I honestly would avoid looking in full length mirrors because I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like the way my clothes feel. I don't like the way it looks. So when I started coaching, that's when it all watching on Facebook and on Instagram. And I was like, well, if I stop now, I'll look like an idiot because everybody will know I just gave up. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to do it. I just kept putting videos out there and pictures and talking about things. And I just started doing that. So I almost like made everybody else make me feel like I had to do it. So that's where I am now. But no, I've loved this journey so far. And if, maybe I get to build a bigger business, wherever I end up, either way, I know I tried. And I know I put myself out there, and I am proud of that because this is like completely outside of my comfort zone. Talking to people about like my weight and, the way I look and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm happy wherever I end up, wherever I end up. And that's what it is. So.
Thank you for sharing, everybody. Does anybody have questions? Shannon, Lauren, Megan, Ange, Danielle?
No, I'll re-listen to everything later. Sorry, I had to join so late.
No worries, no worries. Okay, if nobody has questions, then I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and if, we'll just reach out to you guys individually and figure out what the next step is, if there is one. All right. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us tonight, and thank you, ladies, for sharing your story. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoyed at least the information that they got, regardless of the outcome. All right. Have a great evening.
Great, thanks, Marissa.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.